Excuse me. All right. Let's just go ahead and just jump right into it. So, Dugin, Alexander Dugin, his daughter, has been assassinated. There's nothing exciting about that. There's nothing nice to say about that. May his daughter rest in peace. Um, but basically, yeah. Let's see what it says here. I'm reading this from the RWA podcast, Russians with Attitude. Russian media are reporting that a car exploded in Moscow Oblast. Allegedly, Daria Dugin, Alexander Dugin's daughter, was driving and that she died on the spot. No official confirmation at this point. Also, no information on the cause of the explosion. Unofficial sources who knew her personally are confirming her death. Basically, what it is that people are saying that this was a hit by the Ukrainians, and we don't know. Basically, they were trying to get Alexander Dugin. And basically, here's the story behind that. Basically, the story goes something like this, is that, so we don't know what happened. There's no official confirmation of Daria Dugin's death, but if it turns out to be an assassination, it's clear where it came from. Alexander Dugin is much more present in Ukraine than in Russia. And in Russia, he really isn't that big of a thing. Even in the West, he's considered more of a boogeyman. Ever since the Duginists in Ukraine formed the Anti-Orange Front to fight the Orange Revolution, aka the First Maidan, it did not achieve much, but Kiev remembers how far-right and far-left groups clustered around Dugin's ideas, e.g., in other words, the Arestovich is an alumnus of this movement. While largely irrelevant in Russia outside of fringe political circles, Dugin is a boogeyman in Ukraine and the West, often presented as some kind of court wizard and chief ideologue of Putin. Yeah. And that's what he's seen as. But yeah, apparently his daughter has been killed in some form. And basically, he was supposed to be riding in that car with his daughter when they were on their way back from. They went to the Pushkin Center. Let me make sure here. Was driving and died on the spot. Let me make sure here what the details were. Yeah, what's left of her car. According to sources close to the family, both Daria and her father were returning from the Tradition Festival at the Pushkin Museum in Bolshy Vyazmy, and Alexander Dugin was supposed to be in the car but went home in another one. Some Russian media reporting citing local law enforcement sources that the driver of the car has preliminarily been identified as a woman, and the current theory for the cause of the explosion is an IED. This is a. I'm going to sound like a journalist, but this is a developing story. Some people may talk about this, others may not. But yeah, basically, so we see a photo of Dugin holding his hands on his head, just kind of like in surprise. Oh my goodness, yeah, Lord have mercy, exactly. Yeah, Dugin's daughter is evil and cowardly. Yeah, absolutely. But there will be people who will be celebrating this because they see Dugin as this evil mastermind. It's like, I would say arguably is that I would say people like Noam Chomsky have far more influence than Alexander Dugin. I don't even say that as a bad thing or whatever. I just say that as, Alexander Dugin is just some guy. He's not. But because his views are considered more out of the mainstream and whatnot, and ultimately focus more on just a genuine Eurasianist type feeling and not based on race, probably because he learned that, you can't really go into specific racialist views because you will get, blown the fuck out nowadays, and you will lose sponsorships and everything else. So, but the point is, I say rest in peace to his daughter. I say send prayers up for his family, regardless of how you feel about it. about him or his writing. But I don't think he's evil guy. Yeah. That's all I can really say. Yeah. But there's a lot of stuff that's already happened. That, and this wouldn't surprise me in the least. Thing is, this will lead to retribution. This will lead to revenge attacks and everything else. you know, at least that's my opinion of it. Um, there's not too much else I want to repeat again and again. But just for those that are checking in, yes, Daria Dugin, the daughter of Alexander Dugin, apparently has been assassinated. Um, and it's not very. This is very much terrorism. It's very much cowardice as well, because the fact is the Ukrainians are not winning this war, and like I said, this is no different than the attacks on. This is no different than whatever you want to talk about. The deaths of the German. I'm trying to think of his name, but basically, let me see here if I can find it. What's his name? I know it's on the book is on my shelf, but basically, the reason that the Night of Broken Glass occurred, whether or not people want to believe it, was due to the death of basically somebody of a kid who, or teenager, I should say, was trying to leave Germany, and basically allegedly had some affair with this German official, and this German official was then murdered. So it's I know it's on my shelf. Hold on. That's it. Herschel Greenspan. Herschel. I mean, it's green, but yeah. And who did he kill? Let me make sure here. Died presumably in the last day, or yeah, August 1944. Ten sets of Jewishness. From exile to assassin. Yeah. Asked Uncle Abraham, 3,000 francs. Let's see here. Sendell Greenspan recounted their deportation off to Palestine. Sorry, just reading that. Yeah. Ernst von Rath. That's who was killed. Yeah, German diplomat. There we go. But yeah, that's what occurred. I think it's similar to what happened with Daria Dugin. I think that it shows the cowardice of it all. The fact is that the Ukrainians are not winning, and the United States can go ahead and muster all it wants to and can claim this as a victory. But I think that it shows a lot of at least my view anyway. But yeah, I will say prayers up for that though, for her family, including Alexander Dugin himself. This is a guy who I think is genuinely just trying to build something legit. And because his daughter got too close and whatnot, it's now his daughter is now dead. Military targets prove too difficult. They will go down the list as softer targets. Yeah, it's true. Working theory for this attack is IED. Yeah, Russia needs to understand the internal security is a priority, or these provocations will get more spectacular. Yeah. And like I say, we already seeing this just expanding more and more. Yeah, I don't really have too much else to say about that. Yeah, Alexander kills his daughter instead. Yeah, yeah, the stuff is starting to come out now. Yeah, Dugin shouldn't have let his daughter use the car, even though family of terrorists are legitimate targets. Hold on. Russian Telegram account is implying that West is behind the explosion, which out. Yeah, war of ideas. Yeah, yeah. That's all that really needs to be said. I'm just gonna make sure anyone's talking about it, this and that. But yeah, once again, I do want to make sure it does appear that Daria Dugin, daughter of Alexander Dugin, has been assassinated, murdered, however way you want to put it. Yeah, yeah. Undiscussed aspect of this war is the creative and partially successful Ukrainian approach to hybrid warfare. Yeah, Ukrainian intelligence services, been paying money to Russian citizens for setting stuff on fire. Really? Huh. But yeah, we do see that, yeah, it's not completely unheard of or unfounded that, because the war has grinded to a halt, and now it's very much turning into a just kind of a Korean War, even First World War situation that's occurred. Basically, the Russians have dug in, they have their cities, and they will go full Stalingrad mode. And the Ukrainians really don't have the strength to return this battle. And of course, like I say, I think it's worth saying because obviously, why else would Daria Dugin be murdered in this way? At least it's my opinion. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that. I'm going to go ahead and call that good. But you should look into this developing story yourself and get a better idea of what's happening and go from there. Yeah. Anyway, see you later. Goodbye.